Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have covered our 10 prefixes, suffixes, and roots for first semester. So we are going to review those so that you're ready for the eventual quiz over those 10. So on your note sheet, while I go through these, you're going to copy down the meaning of each prefix, suffix, or root, and then I'll give you a sample word, and then I'd like you to copy down the definition for the sample word. So the first one we'll review is anti, which is a Greek prefix. It means against or opposite of. So on your sheet, where it says meaning of prefix, please copy down against or opposite of. Against or opposite of. Okay, and then where it says sample word, go ahead and write antisocial. Antisocial. It's an adjective, so it's going to describe a noun, and you see the anti, which means against or opposite of, and social, and that's pretty much what it means, not social. I'm going to have you write down for your definition next to the sample word just what I've underlined so you can shorten it a little bit. So it means not social or not wanting the company of others. So again, for the definition, just write what I've underlined, not social. And then here's a sample sentence. The girl seemed antisocial and wouldn't talk with anyone. So on your sheet, again, each time you're filling in the meaning of the prefix, so you should have against or opposite of, and then you should have the sample word, antisocial, and then for the definition again, just what I've underlined, not social. Okay, then we'll go on and finish our prefixes. So your next one is mono. Please write down that mono means one. Your sample word is monotone. So if you think one, tone, that's pretty much what monotone means. Please write down for definition an unchanging sound or tone. An unchanging sound or tone, especially when someone is speaking. So your sample sentence, try to vary your speaking voice so you aren't monotone and boring. So when someone speaks in a monotone voice, they're sounding like this, they sound like a robot, and they don't vary the way they're speaking if they're monotone. Okay, your next prefix is para. Please copy down that means around. Around. Your sample word is perimeter. That should look familiar from math. Perimeter is the outer boundary or total distance around that boundary when you're measuring it. So measure the perimeter of the yard so that we can put up a fence. Your next prefix is pronounced pseudo. Again, the P is silent. It's pronounced pseudo, and it means fake. Fake. For your sample word, please write down pseudonym, and please double check your spelling. Pseudonym. A pseudonym is a fictitious or fake name. Again, pseudo means fake. Nym actually means name, so fake name. And when it's used by an author, another word for it is a pen name. Your sample sentence, Theodore Seuss Geisel is better known by his pseudonym, which is Dr. Seuss. Okay, your next prefix is semi. Please write down that means half or partial. Half or partial. Your sample word is a semicircle. Semicircle. And your definition, a half of its circle or of its circumference when you're measuring. A half of a circle. Sample sentence, we sat in a semicircle around the presenter so that we could all see and hear him. Okay, we're going to move on to roots, which again are the main parts of the word. And our first root we'll review is corp. Corp means body. Body. And your sample word for corp is corporal. Now, corporal does have several definitions, but we're going to look at the definition that uses the root corp, and that form is an adjective. And its definition is of or relating to the body, or quite simply, bodily, which is what I want you to write down, bodily. Sample sentence, my grandpa tells stories about when schools used corporal punishment and spanked kids with paddles when they misbehaved. Your next root is cred, which means believe. Believe. And your sample word is credible, which is an adjective. In this one, if you know that cred means believe, and you have the suffix able, which turns it into an adjective, it'd be believable, which is what I want you to write down. Believable or able to be believed or trustworthy. I believe that we were snowed out of school because the school's phone call was a credible source. Your next root is dorm, which means sleep. Sleep. And your sample word is dormant, which is an adjective. Now, dormant has a couple definitions, but they're actually quite similar. I'll have you write down not active, but it means not active or slowed down as if in a deep sleep, or alive but not actively growing. So your sample sentence, the tree had a dormant period in order to survive the cold. Your next root is mar, which means sea or water. Sea or water. And your sample word is marine. Marine. We're going to look at two definitions for marine, one which is when it's an adjective and one when it's a noun. I'm going to have you write down the more common adjectival definition, found in or produced by the sea. Found in or produced by the sea. The noun form is also a sailor serving on board a ship, for instance, the U.S. military branch, the Marines. Here's a sample sentence. We studied marine biology and science and looked at different plants found in the ocean. Okay, and then we have just one suffix, and again, suffixes would be added to the end of a word, and our suffix side means kill. Kill. Okay, for your sample word, please write down genocide. Genocide, and again, side means kill. Geno means race or kind, so if you put that together, a genocide, I'm going to have you write down widespread killing, but it does mean widespread killing of a particular national, religious, racial, or ethnic group, and usually it's an attempted extermination of everyone who's part of that group. Sample sentence, sadly, there have been many genocides around the world. The most well-known genocide was the Holocaust in Germany. All right, so those are your 10 prefixes, suffixes, and roots that you will eventually be quizzed on. On the quiz, you will have to apply those. So what I want you to do first is to just learn them. You will have to memorize the meanings of those 10 prefix, suffixes, and roots so that eventually we'll give you some hard words that you probably won't know, but if you know the meaning of those prefixes, suffixes, and roots, you can use that meaning and the context clues to figure out what those difficult words mean. Okay, please start learning those. Now take your note sheet and make sure you put it in your ELA folder where you won't lose it. Thank you.